Welcome to TigerComp looking at Word 5. Today we're continuing our exploration of clip art and text wrapping and how this really comes together to become an important part of how Microsoft Word can do some pretty powerful things with these ideas. And they're going to flow over to different areas of the Office suite also, so important lessons today. Make sure you're paying close attention to what you see in the video and reading the directions carefully throughout this, because ultimately you want to create exactly what you're seeing on the screen here, except for you're not going to have these numbers here. Those numbers are just for your reference as you're going through the tutorial. All right, let's get started with this. I'm not going to go through the entire project with you. Just like last time, I'm going to give you the basic tips to get you started, and then you're going to go ahead and finish it up yourself using those skills. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a picture, and from clip art, I'm going to type in the word sled, and hopefully we can find the picture that we need quite quickly. All right. Hopefully you actually saw one of the other ones we need already as you were scrolling through that. All right. So we have our picture. Right. We're going to change the wrap text to behind text like that. That gives us a lot of freedom to move things around. That and in front of text both do that, but we want behind text. And we're going to change the width to 2 inches. Now hopefully you remember how to do that. You're coming over here real fast, changing, oops, that's the height. Let's change the width to 2 inches. Okay. And it'll readjust everything else for you. All right. And then we'll move it to the correct position in the page. Kind of, let's see. We're going to go up here with that picture. All right. I'm looking at the wrong set of directions. I've updated the directions. We're going to change that picture size. I'm going to move it up here. We're going to change the width to 1.35. There we go. Awesome. Great. Let's continue on. Picture number 2. All right. We're going to once again look up the word sled. Might actually remember. No, didn't want to remember this time. Sometimes it remembers exactly what you just are looking at. And here we got the picture. So I'm downloading it. And right away, you're going to start to see some issues with this. I'm going to go ahead and click behind text again. That gives me the freedom to move it wherever I want it. And I want to change my picture size, and I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly. It says change the size to a height of 4. All right, and so do that real quick. And instantly, as I move this picture to kind of where I want it to be, you're going to start to see that there's some issues here. All right, this giant picture I just added. One, it doesn't look the same as the tutorial, right? The sledders are going the opposite direction. 2, our little picture of our additional girl we've added has disappeared. And so we have a couple issues we need to take care of here. All right. This is going to be one of the biggest things and the coolest things in my mind when it comes to Word and pictures and the capabilities of what you're able to do because of this now. And so what we want to do is we're going to work with changing the order. Now there's a couple places you can go. If you right click, you can see you have some options right here. Bring to front, bring forward, send back, send backwards. All right. So you have that if you right click right over the picture. You also have in the Arrange tab, you have those same options right up here. If you don't remember where that right click option, you have those options right there to move things around. All right. So if I want to do this, the first thing I can do is I can say, okay, send backwards, and boom, yeah, it appeared. And it's working well with what's going on. All right. The other thing you can see here is the picture is facing the wrong way. And we can jump ahead in our tutorial and go up to what's called the rotate section. And rotating goes beyond just changing it. You can go through this different rotation, but we also can do what's called flip the picture. And you can see by doing that, if I go to flip horizontal, it changes my picture, and now I can start moving the pieces exactly where they need to be so that everything is going to work out real well. All right, just to save some time, I've added the last two pictures, and we're going to talk about two more things that we can be doing. All right, one thing that you're going to notice is that if I wanted to resize this picture, and I go here and I type in 1, you notice that it automatically changes this, and that's because there's what's called a default kind of setting with every picture, and there's an aspect ratio that it wants to maintain. Now you may want to change that to kind of fit what you want, and so there is a way to go ahead and change how that works, and this is how you do it. We're going to go over to the picture, we're going to right click on the picture, and we're going to go down to where it says Format Picture. And suddenly we got a new menu here that's popping up, and we want to go to what's called the Layout menu. And as we look at the Layout menu, this is all a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. I just realized I'm wasting your time. I'm in the wrong spot. Right click, let's go to Size and Position. There we go, that's the menu we're looking for. The Format Picture definitely has its benefits. When the layout comes up, that's the right click. The shortcut is also to go to this little arrow right here. That would get you to the same spot. All right, right now you see right here it's called Lock Aspect Ratio, which means that every time I change the first number, the second number is going to change according to the ratio that's been set for that. But if I want to set my own numbers, I just unclick that and click OK. And so now, like if I go here and I press 2, only that will change. All right, not both. All right, so I want it to be a 1, 1, like that. And of course, there's a couple more steps that need to be done before that picture is done. The other thing we want to work with is going back to that Rotate tab. As you look at Rotate, we could rotate pictures 90 degrees. You could press it more than once and it's going to go 90. You could do it again and then you're going to get 180. Now it's completely upside down. And so as you're working with a picture in that sense, you can rotate it. But if you look at the example, you can see that a 90-degree turn is not the turn that you need. And so that's where you're going to go to this symbol right here. If you're working in 2013, it's this kind of spinny arrow thing. You can see I have free range to rotate it any way I want. If you're using an older version of Word, sometimes it's a green dot that you're going to see there. So that's going to change how that works. But by rotating it, you can get it into the right position that you need it to be for the picture. Don't forget to go ahead and change the size also. All right, I'm just going to push those off to the side, and then we're going to get to our last piece, which is inserting a shape. And this time we're going to do what's called a call out. And I'm going to click on this call out. I can kind of just drag it out there, leave it at the size that I need it to be, and now I can go ahead and get into some different options. All right, with the call out, in the tutorial you're going to see some directions about the different options you have here to resize it with the different things here. You can actually move how the call out, where that works like that. But the area that always becomes a trouble is formatting. Now you can see when I don't have the picture highlighted, the menu bar looks pretty normal, but when I picture it, you get a new tab. It's called Format, and suddenly we get a bunch of options when it comes to changing the style, right? And you can notice that the picture that you have in front of you is not the style you want. You can go here and get the right lettering that you're going to need. So you have some options there. Sometimes if you want to custom do that, you can change the fill this way just by going to Shape Fill, or to go to Shape Outline. and work on it that way. Or if you don't want to use this menu, you can actually go and right click on it, and let's see. So you're going to right click on it, and you got to make sure that you're not like in the text area. You got to make sure it's just the call out being done there. And now you can format shape, and now you got all the different options, the fill, the line, and you can start making adjustments. I'll move my recorder right there. Now you can make all your adjustments right there in this. We're actually going to get more into this next time as we deal with Word out, but this is kind of just a brief introduction to it all. But once you've gone in there and you've made your changes, you can talk about no fill to solid fill, and then actually pick the color you want. Very, very similar to the shape styles option up here. And so those are different things that you can do, and you can actually go and change the font from Calibrate Body to the font that you need here as you're working with this text area. And then of course you have the ability to move this by holding on the outline wherever you need it to go, shrinking the size, changing the call out to work in the way that you need it to work. All right, this video is long enough as it is. You've seen all the menus, you've seen all the options, you have the tutorial in front of you to reference you to see exactly the numbers, and you'll see pictures of the menu and reminders of where to get to those things. So if you need to upload that from Office 365, or if you have the sheet in front of you, you'll be able to get to those things. All right, that's it for Word 5. Remember when you're done to share it with me so that I can see your work. If you're wondering how I go about grading you, let's see if I have the rubric open or not. Here we go. Here's the rubric for Word 5. So this is basically how I'm grading you. I should have shown you this last time with Word 4. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm telling you to copy the picture exactly like you see it, but this is where the points all lie, other than this one here where it says handed into my documents. Of course, you're not handing it in there. You're handing it into Office 365, so I can view it there. But that's where those 2 points come from. All right, that's it for Word 5.